Welcome to the Wallys Show Aftercast, the things we did not get to during the course of the show today. I've been following that story about the stealth fighter that crashed, and all the headlines of it were so weird at first.
What's a stealth fighter?
It's a
WWE or something?
No, stealth fighter, jet fighter. It's a stealth jet, like the F-35 or whatever.
So he flies planes.
Yeah, so no, the plane itself crashed. Yeah, I guess you haven't seen this story.
No, it's the one that was lost, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I call him a fighter though. Like I was expecting.
No, the plane is called a stealth fighder.
Okay, I was just confused. I'm just speaking for the people that don't understand what you're talking about.
This is where I wish
fill in the gaps.
This is where I wish the Aftercast was live, because I would love to go, okay, who didn't understand that? Yeah. Just take a quick poll, a straw poll.
There might be some ladies that don't.
Okay. Oh, it's only ladies because they can't understand this men stuff? Ooh, that was really bad. This is, boy, dig yourself out of that hole.
Come on now.
Women, I think you're amazing.
And as always, thanks for joining the Aftercast.
And you can do anything you want to do. So anyway.
You could be a stealth fighter.
The story of this is like a stealth fighter crashes and we don't know what happened. And there's all these things going on, and it's this big mystery or what have you. And it was like, remember that story of that lady that was like, she said, oh, I saw a toddler on the side of the road and then I went to help him and I got abducted. Okay. And then all the headlines are like, she's found, she's been gone for 3 days and we don't know what happened. It's still a mystery. It's like, no, ask her. Like, she is the only one that would know. Ask her. And then they found out it was a scam. The pilot ejected. He was safe. He was released from the hospital. We don't know what happened. Ask him. Ask the guy. Here's the guy. The guy is flying the plane, and he literally walked away from it. He ejected, parachuted down. The plane kept flying, though. This is what's weird, because they have things in the plane that if a pilot loses consciousness, the plane will take over and fly itself.
So crazy.
Because the plane can outperform what the human can take. Humans will pass out. The plane can pull more G's. And so they think that's what happened, that the plane kept going. But he parachutes out, walks to a house, and is like, hey, can I borrow your phone? And calls like for help. And he's like, yeah, I just crashed a plane, fighter jet. And so I don't know where it is. I'm
so
gonna
why
need some
haven't
help.
they asked him?
That's what I don't understand. Like, where is this a mystery? Like, you just do unless they're trying to keep it from us. Or, I mean, if you can't find it, isn't that what a stealth plane is supposed to do? Like,
didn't they find it though?
They found debris, yeah. So they did find that it crashed. It was like a debris field, but they took them forever to find it. So you're like, well, the plane's kind of working. It's doing its thing if you can't find it. But again, it's always, I think it's the news like sensationalizing things because they've got to get that headline or the clickbait. I get clickbaited all the time on stories. And
I wonder why.
I know. And TikTok gets me
crazy.
Too. When TikTok does part one, I'm starting to realize they have a big headline.
Starting to realize.
I am. I'm destroying our algorithm in the process, Rock, but I'm starting to realize, like I watch a lot of the ones from like cops, and they're like, belligerent person loses this battle with the cops and gets his window kicked in, and you go through the whole thing, and it's like, they never happened. They didn't even kick the window in. Part one. Great. Part two. And then it's already happened, and then they're like,
you
it's such a
shouldn't
bummer.
even watch it. If it says part one, just don't watch it.
I think I'm going to have to start that. I do. I think I'm going to have to start that. That's going to have to be my parameters.
I'm so glad you're finally listening.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you.
The only part one and part two stuff that I think I will listen to are like Matt Walsh. Like, I like Matt Walsh.
Yeah.
And his stories are always longer, and so they need a lot of explanation.
That makes sense.
His is almost like listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
And so those part one, part twos, because he knows how to tell a story, beginning, middle, and end. All these other things are just like, what in the world, man?
Because they just want to get like the likes and the clout.
Yeah. Karen gets served. And I'm like, ooh, Karen, love these.
Watch it till the end.
Yeah. And then you're like,
Part 8. You're still waiting.
Yeah, and then whatever they said in the headline doesn't even happen. I'm like, this is wrong.
But you know what you're going to do now?
Yeah. Because I keep hoping for that one.
Well, wait, let me give you a hypothetical situation.
Yes,
Flipping through.
Yeah.
Karen gets plowed in the face with a 2x4.
Absolutely. Part one. I cannot wait.
No!
You have to fast forward to find the aftermath.
I know. Like
and
that,
then judge it by that.
Because then I've started fast forwarding to the end of it, because you know that like nothing's going to happen till the end. And then you have to click on it and then go to part 2.
You have to look for red.
I know. It's just, I'm not happy right now with TikTok.
No, you're not happy.
I feel like you're still going to...
I'm
not going to just destroy your
gonna stop.
relationship.
No. Like there's times I'm not happy with my wife and
Gavin,
I don't leave.
I don't think I told you this. So, I don't even know. I guess it was on a weekday. Yeah, it was a week morning because I was up by 4 a.m. And I get a text message from Wally at probably 4:02 a.m. Okay, 4:02.
You wake up and
it is a link to a TikTok video.
yeah, dude.
I said, "Why are you on TikTok?" And he said, "Because his wife Marty was away in Florida.
Yes,
and he could have the sound.
The sound
on.
Just in bed. Yeah.
So
no, I was on the toilet.
Turn the sound off, please.
So he sends me a link to a TikTok video at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, sir, that's when you know you have a problem.
Maybe.
No.
Or it's like, what do you do? Okay, what is your morning routine when you get up? What do you do?
I check the weather.
Okay, see, there you go. It's just like checking the weather.
That's so adult.
I don't care about. Come on, Grandma.
No, I need
That's
to know
so
because of my
boring.
hair.
Maybe I need to get a shawl today. It might be a little crisp outside.
Stop it. I just like to be
Has fall
prepared.
come yet?
I only wish.
My old bones are gonna hurt.
Okay, Mr. TikTok on the toilet.
But I'm with you. I wake up, I look over, check my phone, turn the alarm off, and then I get up super quickly, go feed the dogs. But as soon as I'm like in the bathroom, I turn the shower on.
Yeah.
And while that shower's heating up, I watch TikTok.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
I do. I have a pattern. Sometimes I'll watch TikTok with the sound off because I don't want to wake Marty
So
up.
what are you watching then?
Like I'll watch fails.
Oh, okay.
Because people falling off bikes.
Yeah,
You don't need
So then
sound.
he's sitting on the pot,
Yeah.
just snickering.
But
4
then
in the morning.
I have like 3 games that I play, and one
You're
of
going to lose everyone's
Do you
respect.
really?
I know. Oh yeah, I play games on my phone, and then I check
the
like
morning?
Apple News. Yeah, and then I come in here and prep for the news. But like I have this one game though that I have this OCD thing with it. It's like kind of like a Tetris game, but you're trying to clear all these blocks, and I cannot stop that game with any blocks left on. When I start playing that game, I have to finish it and clear the entire board. And sometimes
What happens if you don't?
I don't want to find out because something bad is going to happen for sure.
So if because you're the first one who usually shows up here in the
Yes.
morning. But if we beat you in every morning and you were like, oh, well, he's 5 minutes late, is it because of this game?
Yes,
that
good
you
chance
would
of
be
it.
late?
Okay, so
TikTok.
here's the game. I cleared it this morning.
I haven't seen you play.
So, like, normally you would put the pieces on there. I'm not going to show you because then it will start it, and I will
Start
not be
it.
able to.
Stop.
Right. I have
Play.
this. I'm starting to find out that there are certain things that I have that, like obsessive compulsive type tendencies.
Yeah, where it's like it's your tunnel vision situation
Yeah.
where you're looking through a straw and you can't look through anything else until you're done with that.
Yeah, like I know that it's not a situation where anything's going to go bad and it's totally irrational, but for some reason I'm like I just need to finish this. Like if I finish this then I'm
bothers
good.
you.
Yeah, it does. And I know it shouldn't, but it does.
Hypothetical.
Yeah.
Marty's in the hospital. She needs to go to the ER ASAP.
Okay.
But she caught you right in the middle of one of those Tetris games.
Sure. Can she drive?
No, her leg has been blown off.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna. So she still has her hands. Okay, she can play the game for me.
That's not bad.
So
Okay.
I'll drive and she
Takes
can
her-
she can let me know how she's doing.
Distracts her from her pain.
Exactly. Well, one thing that I think most people can say about you is you are just a servant.
A giver.
Always,
A
you
giver.
are. You're a giver.
Yeah.
Thinking of others.
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good to do that. So yeah, I got one more story here. A bit of a ping pong match on this story. I didn't want to do this on the show because it doesn't have like any sort of a good ending. But it's one of those stories, kind of like listening to Serial
this
for the
be
first.
fun.
No. But
This is just going to be fun to see you hand it off to me and go.
oh yeah.
Okay, better rock.
Save the day.
But like one of those stories, like the Serial with Adnan, one episode you thought he did it and committed the murder, and the next one you're like, it's an injustice. He is free. This is one that kind of took me like that. Okay, so here it is. Google is sued for negligence after a man drives off of a collapsed bridge while following map directions. Okay, so he's following the maps. Google says go this way. He goes this way, and he drives his car off the bridge and is killed. Okay, and
wow.
At first I'm going here's my first ping pong match because everybody tends to sue over everything, and you're like, okay, you need to have personal responsibility. We have no personal responsibility in this thing. It's not, their case. Well, this is tough because as technology increases, we tend to let things do more for us. But you still have responsibility. If you're driving a Tesla, it can drive, but you still need to be aware. Mm-hmm. But as you read a little more into it, it seems that Google might have some responsibility, but they can't know every road that is being updated or changed. Yeah. How could they do that in real time?
Right.
But apparently this bridge has been collapsed for 9 years.
Oh.
So exactly.
It's enough time for the update.
You just jump to the other side.
But is he like you and he never updates his phone?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But Google should be updating, and it should have caught it in some of those updates. And so then you're like, oh, wow. Okay, but 9 years, shouldn't the whoever runs that road be responsible? Because there were no signs. State trooper said there were no signs, no warning signs along the roadway.
What? Then how is he the first one to ever do this?
I don't know. And so then you're back to, well, wait, it's not really Google's fault. There should have been the local people that are taking care of it, right? I'm thinking, but then it comes out as they're doing all the stuff for the lawsuit that people have notified Google about the mistake and that it needs to be rectified and that Google hasn't done that and that their reluctance to change that or failure to change that contributed to this man's death. It's just who gets the blame in this one? I think you got to go with just the people that own the road. The state.
I think so.
Yeah, because I would think they're somewhat responsible if they don't have signs up. That's what I don't understand. How could he be the first one
let it be completely blocked off? You shouldn't be capable of getting to a blown out bridge.
Yeah, I mean, it should be completely stopped. And so that's
But
that's
is his family just suing Google?
They are suing Google, and I think it's that deep pockets thing where they're gonna sue everybody and try to see what lands, kind of thing. And at the end of the day, I get people are hurt. It shouldn't have happened. It's a tragedy. He leaves behind a couple kids and a wife, and so you're like, yeah, it shouldn't happen. Somebody should be responsible for that. Did he ever have a chance to stop, or was it just it came out of nowhere? Was he not paying attention? Is he culpable at all? For not being aware of his car and driving it, or is it one of those things
would the situation have changed had all of a sudden there been a mudslide and the bridge broke or whatever? Right. Well, then would he still be held responsible? Would Google still be held responsible, or would it then be? It's
the 9 years thing that Google didn't catch it, because they're constantly updating things, and
once again, I will say though that even if you have to have it set on your phone, the apps go ahead and update.
Yeah.
He could have had it where his phone never updates unless he says it's okay to update, and then Google. Even then, if he had never updated his phone, then Google can't be held responsible.
But what I'm saying is Google has to update their programming of it. It's not his update. It's Google has to do the recon or whatever that says, okay, this bridge is out. We need to update. And that stuff happens in real time without ever updating Google Maps again. It just updates itself with the changes. I was surprised, they rerouted a road by my house, and I was going home the other day, and it's the road's not even done yet. It's still 2 of 4 lanes, and they've already rerouted it. It already does it on the thing, and I have an update. I never update, so I need to do that. See, that's why I didn't do this thing on the show, just because there wasn't this happy out. You have to have more happy outs.
Someone died.
But it is bizarre.
But yeah, again, it's just one of those things where as I read through the story, I kept going back and forth I don't know who to blame for this. But that's the thing, we always want to blame somebody. Yeah. That's part of our problem. Or, I guess I say part of our problem, but then it's also part of the benefit of relief in our society where you can hold people accountable that have done things wrong, either in error or by commission. So what do you got, Lady Rock?
And we need to hold them responsible for people's death. Yeah. Okay,
Betty Rock, do it. Get it. Go, girl. You go, girl.
Your story's not super positive, though, is it?
Oh, is it?
I mean, it's celebrities. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner.
Yeah.
So they're getting a divorce.
Oh, yeah.
And it has turned for the nasty.
And quickly, too.
Yes. So Sophie is now suing Joe, claiming that he's unlawfully keeping their kids in New York City, even though they supposedly agreed she would take them to the UK, which is where she's originally from, the word abducted was even thrown around. Yeah. So she claims that they had decided as a family back in April of this year to raise the kids there in England because it was safer.
Did you write it down with a lawyer? That's all I got to say.
Probably not.
It's hearsay at that point, and the best agreements with a handshake don't count for anything in a divorce, especially if it starts to get nasty and well, the kids become pawns. Yeah,
but they've been with the two girls. They've been with Jonas in the U.S. for several months because Sophie, she was working. And that was keeping her busy. Okay. So the kids have been in New York City. Now they're getting a divorce.
Oh, now she wants them.
Now she said she's finished all her commitments.
Oh, now she can take care of the kids as a commitment. Well, that's nice of her.
And she wants to take them back to England.
Of course. Now I'm ready for the children. They're not an inconvenience for me now. And you've abducted them from me.
But now Joe is refusing to hand over their passports so she can take them to England.
Yeah, I mean that's a tricky situation. I had a family member. They were young too. They got married, had a child, and then they just this girl lost her mind and just couldn't find herself and ended up just going to Mexico and starting a new life and then wanted the kids. And so then all of a sudden you've got this crazy weird divorce thing happening, 2 countries, kids being taken to another country. And then you're like, well, what are my legal grounds to get them back to share time and custody? And just a nightmare. And I feel bad for everyone in it because you have to think you lose yourself for a minute and you're so blindly angry at your spouse that you forget the damage that you do to your kids in this moment. And I understand it. I probably would be guilty of that, you know?
Yeah, well, the report goes on to say that when Joe filed for divorce, I guess he did this in Florida. Florida courts have it filed a way that they've restricted either of Joe or Sophie to take the kids anywhere else.
Yeah, no one should be allowed to.
You can't take them.
Right.
And so he's saying that if I give Sophie their passports, I'm violating that rule.
That's interesting. That's funny.
She's saying otherwise, though. Like she's saying he's holding my kids for ransom.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
It just gets ugly fast.
It's definitely sad. It is definitely sad. So, well, maybe they'll get it worked out.
Birthday!
Hey! You made me so sad today, Rock. This is the saddest Aftercast ever.
All right.
Let's go.
We've got one birthday. Kimberly, who wants to wish her 12-year-old son, Bentley, a happy birthday.
That is a baller name for the record. What's up, Bentley? What's up, Bent?
He's our little blessing from other parents. He's growing up so fast and changing quicker. Isn't a respectable... Wait. He's growing up so fast and changing into a respectable young man.
Nice.
He turns 13 years old on the 24th, so 2 days from now, Sunday.
Nice.
Happy early birthday,
I love
Bentley.
it. I love it.
No questions,
Okay.
So let's go with
Weekend plans. Everyone's got them weekend plans.
Yay!
Wally.
I might have just gotten a weekend plan. My sister's in town, and sometimes I feel stressed, like when someone's in town, to take them everywhere, show them stuff, and you know, you feel like that. And she's super low key. Like she would be like, let's hang out at the house. That's fine. You know, but I always feel like I gotta go do stuff. So Marty just texted me. She's like, oh, the Nashville flea market's in town this week.
She messaged me about that.
Did she really?
And
so
I told her, I said, y'all are going to have to let me know what you think, because I'm worried it's too crunchy. You know, with it being in Nashville and it being a flea market, I feel like you're just going to keep coming across Gen Zers and young millennials.
What did you call it, though?
Crunchy.
Crunchy.
What does that mean?
you
Like
don't know what crunchy means? Am I using it wrong?
No. Like crunchy is like
too crunchy.
Granola, hipster.
Yeah, like Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. Whatever. Like environmentalist vibe.
I have zero. Nothing.
I am shocked.
Never heard that one.
Me too.
But you're going to have to let me know, because I could see it being crunchy. Like everything runs high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Honestly, it's not as good as it used to be when it was at the old school fairgrounds. It was better then. There's less vendors now, and there's more of like the people that are selling all like I find less like weird antiques to build stuff out of now. But there is kettle corn, so they got my vote.
Oh, that kettle corn.
Yeah, they got my vote. So I'll probably do that.
Yum.
Then church, and then my daughter gets into town on Monday, so that'll be cool.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
What is your sister doing in town for?
She's going to see my other sister and my mom, who's at my other sister's house, and so she was coming through here, stay with us for a couple days, then she's going over there because she hasn't seen my sister in a long time.
Nope.
Your mom hasn't seen your sister in a long time?
No, my sister hasn't seen my other sister in a long time.
Okay,
Yeah, so.
got it.
What do you got, Lady Rock?
Tonight, I did have some plans, but I think we're going to rain check them just because sicknesses have been running through our friend group. So trying to stay healthy. Tomorrow, I have a going away party for a lady in my small group. She and her kids are moving to Florida at the end of the month.
We should start calling funerals going away parties.
We really should. That'd be great. I like it.
Going up.
There could be balloons.
Oh, nice. A clown. Go away.
Yes. Then Sunday is church. I need to look and see if I'm going to be helping. I'm not sure. I can never remember. Thankfully, I have an app that helps remind me.
Usually, if someone said, "Is Betty helping?" I would probably say no. And my default would be, no, I don't think. She carried one box in today from the van.
I mean, we carried zero.
How many boxes did you carry
I always
sir?
go help. I didn't even know she was here. I was working in the studio.
How convenient.
Yeah, I was in the studio doing my job. We
So
were
convenient.
30 seconds till the song ended, and I ran out there. Yeah, okay. So, anywho.
Gavin.
A few things. Let's see. We are going to some Pee-wee football game in the morning to watch our friend's daughter do cheer.
And it's early.
So it's at 9 a.m. But she invited us, the kid, we were at their house on Sunday, and she's like, "Can you come to my game?"
Oh, nice.
We were like, "Oh, we'll do that, honey."
Nice.
So we're doing that. Then we're doing some like a campfire thing tomorrow night because it's getting like a little like chillier out. Not like
at night it gets
like,
a little cooler.
Not like I said, "Oh, let's do it," because tomorrow is like the first day of fall. I'm like, this is just a fun little do it.
Yeah.
We haven't had people over for a while.
See, I don't like bonfires when it's cold because then you try to get next to the fire because you're legit cold and then you end up smelling like smoke or you have to stand so close to the fire and part of you gets warm, and that's it. So I like doing it at this time of year is probably a good idea. So
we'll do that and then church and then that should be it.
All right. Well, that is going to have to do it for our Aftercast. We have a meeting we have to go to in 6 minutes. And so we appreciate you being a potty and we'll do this all again Monday.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.